it is suppose validation of TJ 15 seconds. Okay, so this is my case where I am having start of TJ at 5 seconds. So based on this, 5 seconds less than I am having finish of TI which is 10 seconds. Then I am having validation of TJ which is 15 seconds. So basically what we are checking, if it is no finish is not less than start of the transaction or second transaction started in between my first transaction, but the validation of that particular transaction or will take place, or you can say second transaction validation start after the finish of my first transaction. So here start doesn't start is okay if it is not taking place at that time, or you can say here, but before entering into the validation phase for the second transaction, at least I have to finish the first transaction. Clear? Before entering into the validation for the second transaction, which is a concurrent transaction, at least I have to finish my first transaction before that. Before the second transaction enter into the validation phase. Right? So if that condition is satisfied, as per if these are the values which we have seen, then the condition is satisfied. So if these two conditions are satisfied, any one of these or both, you can say, are satisfied, then we can say our test is successful, or we can say the concurrent transaction are satisfying or giving the proper result, or achieving the we are achieving the proper result. So based on that, we'll just go to with the theory. So these are the two conditions which we were supposed to check, and we have done that. I've just explained this. If any one of these condition is satisfied and the set of data item written by TI does not intersect with the set of data item read by TJ, when it is entering into the validation phase, it will read. Right, so before entering into the validation for TJ, it should TI should finish its execution. Then the validation succeed and TJ can be committed later on. Otherwise, validation failed and TJ is aborted. Okay. So now, here, based on this, already I have given you the justification for that, so we will not go for that. This is the last slide for the concurrency control system, where references are the same which I showed you for the transaction. You can refer those later on. This is some of the self-learning point or topic for you people, as per mentioned in your syllabus. Find out the deadlock situation in your any of your system. Take any of the system like this, for example. This is the transaction, student is doing this, then grade is performing this transaction, or entities. Then somewhere this is waiting for the result of the student data over here. This is waiting. So likewise, you find out where you are getting the deadlock and how you can solve that particular deadlock situation. Okay, that you can do by yourself, situation handling. This is about the concurrency control system, or second part of your chapter number 6. Only now last part is left that we will cover maybe tomorrow. Okay, any doubt in this or any question you are having? Shall I go ahead with the practical? Okay, all of you start your WAM server. NetBeans are updated over there. The problem is that if you are having Java with you, then there is no problem. NetBeans will work. But if you are not having Java, then you have to go with a link I have received. I'll just share that link with Prathamesh. Prathamesh will give you that link. For that particular NetBeans, you check with this Java. If other is supporting, then no problem. Otherwise, I have just shared that link. We were trying to download, but at our lab assistant side the net is slow. So right now anyways you have to download from the drive or your from this link. So Prathamesh, I have just shared with you. Kindly share that with other people. So maybe we won't be able to do that practical, but we'll do other. So
Ma'am,
yeah,
till Java 8 it's supported.
Java.
Java 8.
Yeah, that only I have shared the link. So if it is there already with you, you no problem, no need to install. But if it is not there, if while installing the NetBeans it is saying the JDK file is not missing or empty, then you install that Java from the link which is given to you. Okay. Maybe that practical I am not taking today because let's see if we get time. I'll just show you. Otherwise, we'll finish other practical. All of you start your web server. Even I need to start. Okay, so WAM server, once WAM server started, all of you go to your MySQL console, the way we are starting. Use your database. Check for tables. I'll just share my screen. This is our experiment number 7. We have finished with view part. A document I will share you in 1 or 2 days. So you can keep data with you. I think 7th I have shared already. Is it there? I'll just check. No, I have shared till experiment number 6. So 7, 8 and 9 document I will share you by maybe by tomorrow night. So you, according to that you add this output in that. View part we have already done and questions are with you, right? So write down the next question for your trigger part. All of you write down the question which I am just going to dictate with you. Right. Create a simple trigger in MySQL and show its functionality and show its functionality. Okay, so now all of you, what we are going to do with that side by side, I'll dictate, you go ahead with that. We are going to create one new table. Okay, first all of you write down this, select database use. You must have already written this for your view. If it is there, okay, select star from my data was EMP99, right? Then second, select, we required only employee table, we don't require department table. Fine. So now here student, first we have to create a new table. Okay, so all of you create a new table. Give the name for that table. Create EMP. We'll go for 1 1 and whatever your roll number. Create EMP 1 1 and your roll number. Okay. Now in this, what we are going to do, we are going to add one field as a ID. Data type is int. And here I am not going to provide the value for this ID. So I will say auto increment. I don't want to provide the data for this ID. So I will say auto increments. Automatically this value will get updated. Okay, and I'm saying this as a primary key. Fine, this is my first field for the table. Second field, I want EMP number. So EMP I know. Give some different name, or you can keep the same name, it's your wish. Okay, I have given EMP underscore number. It is again integer type, which I want to be filled, so I will say not null. Okay, third field I am taking e name. Here also, if you want, you can give separate name or same name, but if you have to just remember, okay, which name you have used. Then I say varchar. Give some size for that, 10 roughly. Again, this field I want compulsory to be filled, so I'll say not null. That is your way if you want it or not. I'll just complete my table. Check the manual auto increment. Yes. Yeah, I have not given the space. I have not given here the space. Okay. Yeah, no, that is, yeah, table keyword I'm missing over there by mistake. Create table name, right? Even though you people have not informed me that this is a mistake. Yeah, student. ID. Second one, employee number. Third one, employee name. So my table is created. Describe your table. 1199. So this is my table. Is created now. Fine. So shall we start with the trigger now? Everyone finished with the table creation? Just write in chat box so that I can move ahead.
Ma'am, wait.
Okay, I'll wait.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, and we are having 21,
What?
21 ID rows, so we are having.
I'm not able to listen you properly. 1 minute, 1 minute. My headphones are not connected. Yeah. Yeah, Lekha, come again.
Ma'am, for the last question we had done a 21 ID row also, na, where we uh, inserted a row for ourselves, we values.
You have inserted up to 21 ID, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It's okay then, no problem.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
Next, while insertion, you take care that you will insert the next number for primary key. Otherwise, automatically you will get error because that is repeating. Last time I have not inserted. So that is my old table. Okay. So everyone finished with the table creation. So we'll go for a data trigger now. So first we have to check the delimiter which is there. So all of you write for a delimiter. I'm just taking dollar. So delimiter is now dollar, done. Creating table, start with the create. Oh, sorry, trigger. Create trigger. We have to give the name for the trigger, right? So what we are going to do in this, whatever value we are going to update in this table, those value. So what we are going to do after updation, what we will get new value in our table, right? So old value of those fields which we are going to update, we are going to store in our table which we have created just now for employee name and employee number. Okay, that is the idea, or that is the trigger we are going to create. So create trigger, we have to give the name for the trigger, right? So we will give name as a trigger, your roll number 99. Right now, for your understanding. Okay, after that what we are supposed to write, before or after. So before updation, before update, correct? On which table? On our main table, main table of employee which we have created. So I think EMP 99 in my case. Okay, so I want to apply this trigger, or I want to create this table for my main table, EMP table 99. Now next to that is for each row or for each statement, when it is update, so always go row wise, right? So for each row, fine. Now I have to start with the trigger body, so I will say begin, correct? What I am supposed to do, insert the values which I am going to update in my EMP1199 which I have created just now in this table. So based on that, I have to write the query, SQL query, right? So I will say insert into which table? EMP, the new table which you have created just now. EMP1199 in my case, this table, this one which we have created just now. Okay. Insert into this table. Now what you are supposed to insert, right? So I want to insert into set EMP underscore number, that is this attribute, into this table, right? EMP underscore number is equal to what? Old value of EMP NO. Now I have to check what is my attribute name in my previous table. So here it is EMP NO. Okay, so I have the old value of this which I am going to update, that I am going to store in my previous table, right? Sorry, new table which I have created. Right? Clear everyone till here? So now that is first. Second, I am also storing the name. That is, as per this, I have taken e name only. Yeah, here it is e name. Also set e name, that is equal to again old value of e name, which I am going to update, right? When I will receive update command, update the values in my EMP99 table, that is my actual original table. But instead of discarding or removing those old value put or store into this new table. So instead of somewhere, if we require the reference, we are having our data somewhere available, right? So that is why we are creating this table, which is useful for us. Fine. So after this semicolon, then I am ending my trigger body. This semicolon is end of my SQL query. This end is my trigger body ending. Okay, and after this I have to end with the delimiter, that is I have started over here. So I will just write delimiter $. Okay, so here I have finished creation of my trigger. If you are getting any error over here, please, if trigger is created, drop the trigger and create again. Okay, now till here everyone finished? Shall I go ahead? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So now what we will do, we have created trigger. Now we have to create a update query, right? So before creating update query, I need the data which is there. Select star from EMP 99. Yeah, dollar I have taken delimiter, right? So I need dollar. Fine. So now this is my data. So I'm going to update it now. Update my table name, that is EMP 99. Set e name. Set e name is equal to, I have to change the value. Okay, what I will do here, I have ABC, right? So what you do, you put proper name, some name of that, right? Don't put ABC. I am just putting ABC over there. I will just say PQR. You put proper name. Okay, set this value where EMP NO is equal to, what is EMP NO for? This value I want to change. So I will say 21, right? So I have done with this. This is my semicolon, but it will not work because I have not changed the delimiter. So I will just say dollar dollar. You can change the delimiter after creating the trigger. That you can write this delimiter semicolon. So it will work with the semicolon. Anyways, doesn't matter. So now my one row is changed, right? So what I will do now, I will check with my select star from my table name dollar. Okay, 1 minute. Anyways. So I have to check. Yeah, 21. The value is now PQR. But where is my ABC value? So I have to write, I'll just change the delimiter. I'm keeping it as a semicolon, so that is useful. We are used to that. So select star from new table, I'm just checking. So here you can see my employee number, old is same and new is same because I have not updated that. You can update it if you want. Employee name, this is old value which is updated to now PQR, correct? So this is one trigger which I have created. Whatever I am going to change, I have put apply trigger for these two fields. You, if you want, you can apply, include department number also, job also, whatever fields if you want. Similar type you can also create. Okay, that I will put as your practice question, don't worry. So here we have done with this type of trigger, creating a trigger where automatically now my old data will get here updated. If I require this old data for 21, previous value was when it was 21, the name was this, and this is the updated one. Clear everyone? All of you finished till here? Finished till here? That is a part of your experiment number 7, and we have taken one big proper example of view. We have taken one example of trigger. Now here in this trigger and view practice question I will give you in the document, which you can do and you can upload your document before next week. Okay. Didn't update in the new table. What, you are getting any error, Anurag?
No, I'm not getting any error, but it is showing the old name.
Can you share your screen?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, please share.
Yes,
I'll
ma'am.
stop.
Same problem with me.
Anyone else is getting the result?
I am getting, ma'am.
Who is the Lekha is getting the result? Any other people, please update me. Yeah, we'll check one of you who is not getting the result. Then according to that, the person can find out.
Ma'am, can you show your screen once?
Yeah, I'll show. I was just checking Anurag's screen. But wait now, Krishna, because he's sharing, so I don't want to again disturb him. Oh, 1 minute, Anurag. I can't
No,
see
ma'am.
the see your screen. Yes. Okay. Go up from the beginning. Yeah. You have used your data. This is your database.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Then you have done. Okay, that is okay. Go ahead. 1 minute.
Then this
Creating the table. Show me that. Yeah. Create table Wi-Fi ID auto increment primary key. 1 minute. Employee EMP num int not null. Ename varchar 15 not null. Okay, that is fine. Table is created. These are your values. Okay, next. Delimiter dollar you have taken. Okay, create trigger name before update on EMP55 is your old table name, right? For
yes,
each
ma'am.
row, begin insert into EMP115, set EMP num equal to old EMP no, comma, ename equal to old ename. Fine. Okay, trigger is created properly. Select star from table name. Okay, come down now.
So I changed the name of Geeta, which is on 20, to Jarvis.
Okay, 1 minute. Let me update EMP55. Set ename equal to Jarvis, where EMPNO equal to 20. Semicolon. One row affected. Come down. It is updated now.
Ma'am, but after running the query in EMP1155, I'm still getting Geeta instead of
Yeah,
Jarvis.
so that is true. You're getting the result. See here, when you are doing select star from EMP55, means you are updating the value for ename.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that is the result you are getting Jarvis. But the old value of in place of Jarvis, what was the old value?
Geeta.
Geeta. So those old value we are storing in this table, new table. So in case we required later on for our reference, what was the old value in place? So we have to replace this employee name number of times or an employee number of times. That data we are storing in this table. Old values we are storing. So that is
Okay,
correct.
okay, okay, ma'am.
Okay. Same problem you are getting. Who asked me that they are also not
Yes,
getting?
ma'am, I got it.
Okay. Krishna, you got?
Yes, ma'am. I got it correct.
So everyone finished with this part, right? So our experiment number 7 is done. We'll go for experiment number 9 now because for 8 we required NetBeans and Java to be installed properly on everyone machine. So maybe after Diwali we are getting 17 as one of the day for our practical, or before this if possible maybe in tomorrow's slot. If I get, I'll finish that. But right now I will go for experiment number 9 with you people. Document I will share afterwards. Don't worry. Just separately save this file as experiment number 9. So for that, write down the question. All of you write the question. Create a function. Create a function which will, experiment number 9 is about function and procedure. So we'll go ahead with one example of properly how to work with a function, one example of procedure. Okay. So question is, create a function which will display grade for the grade for the marks of the student based on their ID. So it is a question I am repeating again. Create a function which will display grade for the marks of the student based on their ID. So once you are having student ID and their marks, automatically you have to display their grades, okay, based on their marks. So suppose the marks are we are saying above 80, then you can say grade is distinction for your CGPA, for example. Then if it marks are in between 60 to 80, you can say first class, and so on. So that grade we are going to display. For that we are going to write a function. Okay, so with me you all will do. first what we are going to do here now, keep the continuation, don't do anything, use the same database, just write here, or if you want to write, or you can just put that screenshot, table used. Here actually you don't require the employee table, we are not going to use, just use your database, use SCIT, my case SCIT. Yeah, my screen is visible.
No, ma'am.
Okay, okay, I'll do that. I'll just share my screen. Yeah. So all of you use your database just now. We don't require in this case your employee table or anything. So just use database. Already you are in the same database, but as it is, this is your new experiment. To show the document properly, you required a screenshot of this, that you are working on this database. So all of you take the screenshot of this for your experiment number 9. So later on you can just copy paste the things in the document which I will give you. Okay, so here first we are going to create a student table with their ID and marks. Fine. So all of you create a student table. Create table. You all know how to create, right? Your attributes are SID or student ID. You can give any name, and second column is marks. So you create the table. Create table. You put your name, or we can say student. Create table student. After this you put student 99 or something, your roll number, or you put your name and roll number, that doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm just saying student 99, attach your roll number with that. What is my first ID? As I said, SID, it is integer and it is my primary key. Okay, comma, second attribute, it is marks. All even my marks are in integer, so I'll say int. Then that's it. So this is my table creation done. Okay, describe your table. Student 99. It is done. Okay. Now, second, what we are going to do now, we are going to create a function which will display the grade of the student based on the ID. So now, what I will do, we'll change the delimiter. I will keep dollar. Side by side, you can go ahead. Create function. We have to give the name of the function, right? So what we are going to do here, we are going to display the grade. So I will say create function display underscore grade. Okay, this is my function name. Now in this function name, what are the parameters or what are the values I required, right? Based on that, I need a grade function. As I told you, based on the student ID, I required the grade. So for that, here I'll give some another attribute. I'll say roll number instead of SID, roll number. Okay, this is my integer. If you want, you can give some size for that. Otherwise it's okay as it is integer. Creating function over, this is the only parameter which I require, right? Clear everyone? Okay. After this, once I will pass this value, what I should get? Grade. So return value is grade, right? So return value will be grade or distinction, first class or something, which is my character. So my return value, function should have a return value, right? So it will be return varchar value with just if it is big spelling, so I'm taking 20. Okay, just for a deterministic value, deterministic, and then I will start with my function body. So begin. What I have to do? Declaring the grade, right? In function we have to use these words, declare. So I am declare, writing the declare keyword. What I want to declare grade. So this is one variable I am taking grade. This is newly I have taken. Declare the grade with varchar, for which I have written the return value over here, return with varchar. That is for grade. Varchar with size 20. Okay. So this is one. Also with this declare marks, or I'll say M. Okay. So M, which is int, integer some value, I am taking 3. I want that also. Now what grade I want to be displayed, so that range I have to tell my function, right? So my function will tell about the grade. So for that I will say select, what is the attribute I have used? Marks. So I will say marks as per this name of whatever you have written here. Select marks into, select marks into which variable you have declared over here or created. So that I have created M. You can write any name. I have created M, so I am using that. From which table? I want the marks. Oh, 1 minute. We have created a table, but we have not inserted the value in that. Anyways, we'll first create the function and then we will insert the values. From our table, right? So from my table name is student 99. Okay, where this is my SID. So I am taking SID, which I have to match with my this name, roll number is equal to roll underscore num. Okay, clear everyone? So now, so whatever marks I am having in this table, those I want, I'm selecting those marks in this M from this particular table, and I'm mapping this SID with the roll number, which is a new name I have given over here, right? So now, if I will assign the grade now, M is greater than or equal to. I'm going slow so that you all can finish from at your end also. Otherwise, after this cross checking will be difficult for small errors. So if marks or M is greater than equal to 80%, suppose we are taking 80 value, then I'm saying set grade equal to, what is the grade I want of, if it is above grade 80, distinction. Okay, this is my first condition, correct? So now I will continue with my if loop. So else if, don't break it. Okay, else if, now again I am saying marks are less than. I have already taken here greater than equal to 80. So 80 is going in this part, equal to. So less than 80. Correct? Don't miss any of the value. Less than 80 ampersand. Okay? And both the conditions should satisfy. Marks greater than equal to 60. Okay? If this is a condition, then which grade I am giving? First class. So if the marks are in this range, I am saying give the grade as first class. Okay. Same way repeat for next values. Else if, now again greater than equal to 60. So 60 is over there. So less than 60 and greater than equal to 40, I will say, for example. Then set grade. Instead of first class, now I will go for second class grade. Okay. Now after this, now this is okay. Now lastly we can say fail. So for that less than 40% is fail, right? Up to equal to 40 we are keeping second class. Now after that we will say fail. So ending, instead of else if I will just have else. Okay. Okay, I'll take that, no problem. Else grade or set grade, right? It is correct. Set grade equal to fail. Correct? Now this is done. So I have to end my if loop. So I will say end if semicolon. Then finally I have to return the value of grade. This is very important when you are working with a function. So return the grade value, end my begin of the function. So ending that delimiter. Okay, so that is done. Oh my god, am receiving one error. Declare m int. What I have written over there, declare m int. Return varchar, write syntax for return varchar 2. Somewhere I'm getting error. I'm just checking that. You have an error. Syntax near the return. I need to just check the spelling. I'll just check. Go ahead again for cross checking. Create function display underscore grade is the name of my function. This is my roll number, one attribute parameter, which is of integer type. That is okay. Return. Oh, yeah, it is returns. It should be returns. I wrote return. Return is here. Now I have to run all the things again. No problem. We'll try to work with that. Maybe even you are okay. One thing we'll do that. Anyone got the result for function? No, right? So first what we will do, we'll insert the values in our table. Then we will again execute the same function part. Don't worry. So all of you insert into your table. Insert into what was my table? Student 99 values. Or I'll take values down. Value 1 comma Now I will end it. I have to close it again now. It is improper closing of that. So don't worry. Student. What you insert into this? Insert into your table name student 99 values for SID I will say 1 comma we'll take all the ranges. First we'll take above 80, so we'll put 85. Then we will have second value, so I will take 2 SID 2 comma second one we'll take it was 60 to 80, right? So we'll say 60 exactly. Then my third one is 3 comma it is 40 to 60, so we'll take 45. And fourth one we'll take for a fail part, which we will say fourth ID with 25. And I'm just ending. So write down select star from your student table. So these are my values in the table. All of you take screenshot of this. So first you all create the table. Create part you can take screenshot. After that you describe that table. Take a screenshot of that. Insert the values in that. Display that table and take a screenshot. Now we'll start with the function part again. I'm just changing the delimiter. Okay. So now create function. You people will get your data back. I've just restarted, so my data means upper arrow will not give me that. It will not give me that data. So I'm just writing again for you people. If you're having your data, so just use that instead of writing again. Create function. Give the name for the function which we have said display underscore grade. Okay, if there is any spelling mistake, please correct me at that time only before going on next line. So I am taking roll number, okay, which I am saying is of type integer. Just assigning values if you want, otherwise you can keep it just int. This should returns. This was my mistake. Grade, which is in varchar, data type of the return value, right? So it is varchar, so that I am mentioning. Begin with the function body, declaring my variables. Declare one variable. I have taken grade, which is of varchar. I want value in that 20 size. Second variable I am taking m for marks, so I will say declare m, which is of integer type as it is marks. So that is done. Now for this, I will write down the selecting the marks from my main table. So select marks, as in my table the name is marks, I'm using that, into the new variable which I have created, that is M, from my table, that is student 99, where SID is same as roll number, roll underscore number. This SID should match with this variable which I have created over there. Okay, semicolon. Then I have to write my conditions for the grade. If marks are greater than equal to 80, then I just want to set the values. Set grade equal to distinction. Okay, semicolon. Next, else if marks, that is M, less than 80, and logical and, because both the condition need to be satisfied. M greater than equal to 60. Correct? Then set grade equal to, I will say first class. Okay, semicolon. Now I'll just refer, else if less than 60 greater than equal to 40, then set grade as a second class. Okay, I just want to write last statement, so instead of else if, else no, I don't require marks. Yeah, last statement, so I'm just saying else set grade equal to 10. Okay, semicolon, end. Here I am ending with my if loop which I have used. Then I want to return the value, as function always return the value which is my grade variable. Ending the body of the function, ending the delimiter. So here my function is created, right? So once the function is created, now I will just change the delimiter, which because I am familiar with semicolon, so I'll use that only. Okay. So till here, everyone got the function creation. Shall I go ahead to check the result?
Ma'am, 2 minutes.
Yeah. Now, when I'm selecting the ID from my student table, it should give me the right. When I'm selecting the ID of my student, it should give me the what I can say
grade for that particular student, right? So that we will see. That is the function which we have written. Okay, shall I go ahead? Okay, now all of you write select SID. Okay, select SID, comma, marks, comma. These are the attributes from your table, okay? Comma, your function name, display underscore grade in my case. Inside that, I am passing the value of SID. Inside that, I am passing the value of my SID. Select student ID because I want this student ID to be displayed with their marks, and whatever will be the grade that should automatically come from my function based on the SID, because I am passing SID inside from my table name, student 99 in my case, right? So when I'm saying running this, you can see for 1 these are the marks and it is distinction. For 2 these are the marks, this is first class, and so on, whatever we have written. Now instead of this heading, you can modify this heading as that you already know how to do, as grade, only grade. So displayed properly. Okay, clear everyone? Now one more thing, instead of this, if particular student I want with the ID number, if I want with their ID, so what I can do, I will say just select. All this you have to take screenshot, okay? Your function name. My function name is display underscore grade, right? For if I know ID, particular student grade, if I want to know, I say ID is 1, right? I'm passing the value now. So based on that, I should get the result. Okay. So I'm just saying. So here, display grade for ID 1 is distinction. Or you can change the name for the column, right? As grade for ID 1. I'm just saying, okay, we have to put underscore over there. That I'm just renaming. Yeah, one space I have added over there. Okay. So this is the way you can get the grade for that individual student also. Or fine. Any doubt in this? Anyone is not getting result? Everyone is getting result. Very good. So shall I go ahead with the next question? Yes, nice. Actually, for practical, instead of in lab, this online is better because you can also see what teacher is doing, and then it is easy for you people to get the result, right? Anyways, we'll go for the next question now. If I have to wait, let me know. Otherwise, I'll continue. For a practice question, I will put in your document so that you can practice more on this. Write down next question. Create a procedure. Second question for experiment number 9. So save your file with experiment number 9, okay? With function and procedure. Create a procedure to update. Create a procedure to update the employee salary. Create a procedure to update the employee salary for given employee number. For given employee number. Okay. So again, all of you write your use database. Select star from your EMP table, old wala EMP table. These are the table used part. You don't require department table. So just EMP table. Okay. Done that part? Okay. We'll write down now. Create. We'll directly create the procedure. What our question said? Procedure to update the employee salary for given employee number. Okay. So create procedure. Create procedure. Give some name for your procedure. Put your name, or I'm just saying student underscore. No, not student. We'll take EMP. EMP underscore procedure with your roll number. Okay, this is our procedure name. In this in and out parameter you can add. So I'll say in. We have already covered everything. What is in and out and all that variables, right? I'm giving some variable name, that is v underscore employee number. So EMP NO. Some new variable which I have created, which is of integer type. So I'll just say not 3 also, I require 2. That is optional. Okay, again. So I have created a procedure. I beginning with the procedure body. So begin. What I have to do? Update the employee table for salary, right? Based on their ID. So we'll say update your employee table name EMP99 in my case. Set the value. What value I have to set? For salary, that is my sal, column name is sal, is equal to, what is the salary new value? Sal plus, I will say 5,000. Okay. I want to update the salary with 5,000. So now where? Based on where? EMP-NO. EMP-NO is my attribute name from my this table EMP99, which is same as new table which I have created V underscore EMP-NO. Okay, this one. Clear? Then I am ending. I want to end with the procedure, right? Actually, I have not changed the delimiter. That's why it is semicolon. It is taking as my delimiter. So first I should change my delimiter. So it will not end for semicolon. Delimiter, I will say dollar. Okay. Then it will not end for my, yeah. Create procedure. Then I am having begin updating the employee table, setting the value of salary as this, where condition, semicolon, so now it will not end. Now end is the end of my begin for the procedure with again semicolon. Now this is done for my procedure, so I will have now ending the procedure with dollar. So my procedure is created. Okay, now I have to execute this procedure, right? So to execute the procedure, you have to use a command call. So I'll say call. Name of your procedure, my name is EMP underscore procedure 99. So I'm just saying, and I will pass one of the employee number, right? So I need to know what all employee number I am having with their salary right now. So I don't know, right? Can anyone tell me any value for employee number? We have 11. So instead of do this, what I will do, I will check my table now. Select star from EMP 99. Now here it is dollar, right? So this is my table, right? So now I will say call procedure. So name of the procedure. In my case, it is EMP underscore procedure 99. Fine. And in bracket, I can pass any one of the employee. Right now, suppose I want to upgrade the salary of the professor. So I will say 18. I will say 18. This is the ID, employee number. So I have selected that. Okay. With this, I will just ending with that dollar. So one row affected, but I have to check whether the row is affected or not. Dollar is my, yeah. So my professor is now, it was previously for professor, where is it? 30,000. So I have added, according to my procedure, it should get my salary to plus 5,000 we have done, right? Sal plus 5,000. So now this will give me over here. Increase by 5,000, right? So my procedure is working properly, correct? Now, what is the advantage of procedure? Same procedure here. When I want to apply for any of the employee, I can do that. That is first thing. You can call the procedure anytime once you have created that. So that is the main advantage. These are called as a stored procedure in your database if it is available in your database. Fine. So that is about the procedure. You can check with one more value if you want and show the result for that. So that is your experiment number 9, where we have worked with function and procedure. Any doubt in this? For anyone who is not getting the result, please let me know now. I'll just check with the chat box. So everyone is getting the result, I hope so. Okay, fine. So now, even I was thinking to work with the database part, but at my side, the problem is my Java I need to update first. So I don't know how much time it will take. Otherwise, we could have finished with the database connectivity also. No problem. We'll do that maybe in next week or before that. So now what I will do, I will keep the create the documentation and I will upload those two for you people. Whatever deadline is given, try to follow that deadline, and before that upload your data, or on the same date, till that date upload your documentation, because later on we don't have to run behind you for your marks. If it is not there and we have to submit your marks, we'll consider 0 for that particular experiment. So it should not happen, which I don't want to do. So please upload your data experiments. Similarly, you will get your assignment. Try to solve your assignment 4, 5, 6, or based on the LOs for the lab which we are having. So accordingly, I will put the question. You will get your assignment and all the things on the side. Now tomorrow, if I am getting the your lecture from a sir, then I'll take that lecture. I'll finish the last part of our chapter, that is recovery. Hardly I required 45 minutes to finish that. And in 45 remaining 45 minutes, what I will do, I will go ahead with the database connectivity. So all of you, keep your NetBeans, any version if you are having, doesn't matter. NetBeans ready, Java supported to that NetBeans, that is JDK file, plus your WAM server. These three things we required for our database connectivity. Okay, so that part we will see in, maybe tomorrow I will update you. According to that, I need to talk with sir, and accordingly I will update you. Okay, yeah. Here, creating the procedure. So I'll just take your attendance meanwhile. We'll stop here, student, or shall I complete your recovery part now? Till 8 o'clock? It is up to you. Okay, fine, then we'll stop here. Rest all things I will plan and I'll see maybe tomorrow, because mostly from 2nd December your KT exams will start, which will go up to approximate 15 December, and after that your oral practical schedule is not yet come, but maybe last week of December or first week of Jan your final exam will start. So maybe after your KT exam they will ask for practical exam also. So before this 30th November we have to submit all your marks. Most probably these are not tentative dates which we receive from university, and that is the reason I am trying to finish everything, so that you people will be free to finish complete your
What is the
documentation.
question of experiment number one? First
Question
question of experiment number seven.
view part, I have given you the question, right? View.
Yes, view was the first part of the
Yeah,
experiment number seven.
experiment number 7 is
Okay.
view and triggers. So for question which I have given for view is the first question for 7, and trigger is the second. For question experiment number 9, first question is a function question and second is a procedure question. Okay, 8 is your JDBC connectivity, for which I need the NetBeans to be installed. Last date to submit all experiment and assignment for my subject. If I am finishing, it is up right now. We have finished whatever experiment, those you will submit by 17. And whichever I will finish now, according if I am finishing JDBC connectivity and transaction part, that those are the only 2 experiment left. If I am finishing, I will ask you a deadline for that. So maybe after Diwali, your term tests are there. During that time, everyone will ask for your submission. So it depends on the subject teacher, but before 30th of November, we have to finish everything. Correction with your marks, a term work should be ready. And that's the reason I'm just hurrying. Anyways, I know, I can understand. At least you people have come and we have finished with these 2 experiment also, with concurrency part also. Yes, second assignment that I will upload now. 2 assignments are compulsory for your term work marks. So everyone finished with this? Shall I stop presenting? I'll just take your attendance. Yeah, this is 10. I'll just keep it like this. If anyone is still working, you can see it. Roll number 1, 2, who is not there? Three, 4, Vinod, 5,
Present, ma'am.
6,
Present, ma'am.
8,
Present, ma'am.
9.
Present, ma'am.
After giving attendance, if you want to leave, you can leave. Okay. We'll discuss the remaining things tomorrow. 9 is given attendance, right? 10,
Present, ma'am.
11,
Present, ma'am.
12,
Present, ma'am.
13, 14,
Present, ma'am.
15,
Present, ma'am.
17. Prathamesh, where are you? Is he there? Okay, we'll solve that later. We'll see it later on. 18,
Present, ma'am.
9 or 20,
Present, ma'am.
21, 22, 23,
Present, ma'am.
24,
Present, ma'am.
25, 25, 26, 26, 27,
Present, ma'am.
28, 28 is there. 29,
Present, ma'am.
30,
Present, ma'am.
31.
Ma'am,
Present, ma'am.
in the morning session, I couldn't attend because I was not feeling well.
Yeah, you informed me that, right? But Carl,
Yes, I
do
informed
all
through
the
Prathamesh.
theory which I have covered, okay?
Okay, I'll read it through PPTs. Like,
Yeah. 32,
Present, ma'am.
33, 34, 35,
Present, ma'am.
36, 37,
Present, ma'am.
38,
Present.
39,
Present, ma'am.
40, 40, Sandeep, I've seen you. 41,
Present, ma'am.
42, 43, 44,
Present, ma'am.
46,
Present, ma'am.
47, 48, 48. Is there? Not there. 49,
Present, ma'am.
50, 50 Manjiri, 51,
Present, ma'am.
52, 53,
Present, ma'am.
54, Shivam, 55,
Present, ma'am.
56,
Present,
57,
ma'am.
57, Om, 58, 59, Vikram, 60, 60 is there. 61,
Present, ma'am.
62, 63, 64, 65,
Present, ma'am.
66, 66, Kaustubh,
Present, ma'am.
Rishikesh, this is not there. Okay.
Ma'am, in Google Drive folder, shared
Hmm.
folder, software, connector is not shared. JDBC driver.
JDBC driver, we are not going to do. We are going to do that. We are going to connect with the driver. That I will do during practical. We will
Um,
do that connectivity.
but
We
ma'am, that file is required na.
No, we just
JDBC.
required NetBeans and a WAMP server with Java.
Okay.
So we'll do that driver connectivity. We'll find out. Yeah, thank you everyone. Those who have not given their attendance, if you want, you update me your attendance that you are present and I have not marked you present. 48, who is 48? Yeah, 48, I have marked you present. Okay, thank you everyone.
Ma'am,
Yeah,
the link is shared in Google Drive of
Hmm.
NetBeans. It is not opening.
download that. Download the software and then install it.
But ma'am, when I writing in a Chrome, then it is showing me different name IDE, NetBeans IDE 8.2
It's
something.
so because I also downloaded from that file only. It is a download. It is allowing me to download and giving me that.
No, ma'am.
What
When I am
if?
clicking,
It is giving you different name, but it is getting downloaded.
ma'am.
It's okay then. Download that and install. I'll just check for me what name I'm getting.
Okay,
For
ma'am.
me, I'm getting name as because I also downloaded today only. It is giving me NetBeans 8.2.
Ma'am, in when I search, then it is giving me NetBeans IDE 8.2.
Okay, I'm not getting that ID when I have downloaded the same file. I got NetBeans 8.2 Windows.
Ma'am, but that file is not opening. I'm writing just name of that file in Google Chrome.
1 minute. Other student must be, someone must be downloading. I'll just check whether you can download it because I downloaded now only after our lecture. So it allow me to download. I'm just checking. Wait, NetBeans, yeah.